Hello all, welcome to my channel. I'm Raju Pujala. In this video, let's see how we can schedule the tables. What exactly schedule means is the first question that you should be getting in your mind, right? So far we have seen that we are writing the SQL scripts and we are executing the SQL scripts and it is running and it is generating the output for you. Now, what if there is a requirement that you have to refresh the table once in every hour? So it's very highly impossible to go into the script and click on run every hour. So in order the table data gets refreshed. So instead of that, if there is a feature where the tables automatically run themselves once in every 1 hour or like once in every day or once in every year as per the requirement, that feature is the golden feature. So luckily and fortunately we do have a feature like that in the SQL that is called schedule. Let's go ahead and let's see what is this schedule feature. So what we will do, let's create couple of tables. So for example, I have data like this, the customer, the list of customer names, customer ID, and I use the customer name, union all, select 102, Sai, union all, select 103 is the customer ID for Mahesh. Okay, let's assume that this is the customer data. That I mean, whenever we are going to Walmart, so they do ask us your contact number, and they do create our customer details in the customer code tools, right? So let's assume that this data is coming from that information. So let's create a table for this one. Create or replace table. So I'm going to create in under dataset one. I'm copying the ID from here. Dot customers as I'm creating a table like this. So basically this contains all the data like the customer ID and the name. Okay, let's create one more table. Create or replace table in the same under the same data set. So this time like transactions as okay, I would like to have like 101 as customer unique ID, and I would like to know like how much they spent. For example, $1,000 as spend amount. Okay, and union all. Let's assume that 102 customer, they spend like $200, and some. Let's assume that 104 customer, they spend 20. Right? Let's create this table as well. Now we have two tables. Let's quickly jump in and to see like what the data containing in both the tables. Let's look at the customers. Copy ID. Select star from. Okay, and the customers, it has the details like customer ID and customer name, and the transactions, it has the transaction details. Now let's assume that you are getting this data every day. Okay, and you would like to have a consolidated report to understand like how much each and every customer is spending. So what we can do, inner join, select star from transactions. This is something that we already know. um, okay okay, this, let's consider this as A, let's consider this as B. On A dot ID is equal to B dot, sorry, A dot what is this one, customer ID is equal to A dot customer ID is equal to B dot customer unique ID. Okay, let's run this one. Okay, now we have all the data. Okay, so we have this data. Let's create one more table. Or for example, we have this data, right? And let's create one more table. Create or replace table under this dataset one. Copy ID as consolidated data. Consolidated customers report, right? So as this one, and I would like to see what's the data inside this table as well. So basically this is the same data. So let's start from this. Let's run this one. Now this has run successfully and we can see the results over here, whatever the data in the table. Now let's assume that um, We have a new transaction for 101, and you got the new data. So basically how you can do, let's assume that you have got the new data. I mean, for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert the data here. Ideally, you just assume that there is a tool where they are maintaining everything, and it is like connected to this table. Insert into this table columns. What are all the columns? Let's say like customer unique ID and spend amount, right? Customer unique ID, spend amount, values. For example, let's say customer unique ID is 101. Again, they spend like some $4,000. Okay, let's add this data into this one, into the transaction data. Okay, now if you look at the transaction data, select start from this one, right? If you look into this data, we have one more record which is like 101, which has bought like 4,000, which has spent 4,000. Now whatever it updated here, if it has to update over here, you have to come and you have to click on run, so that whatever the new rows, the new data, it will reflect over here, right? So you can see 101 has now two transactions. So now again, to do all of this again, it's like a cumbersome process. It takes lots of time to come and do this one. So first of all, let's see. Once we close this one, this entire query, it will go away. So for that, what we can do, we can click on save. Let's click on save. Let's click on save query and save like customers data. And this is the region. Okay, by this is a default region. Click on save and it is saved. Now where you can see, you can come here under BQ. There's something called queries. Click on queries and shared queries. Under shared queries, you have the customer data. If you click on this one, okay, if you close this one and if you click on this one, you can see what are the query that you wrote. So this is how you can save the queries. And now, for example, if you would like to schedule this automatically, for example, schedule this table automatically to run once in every hour. So how we can do? Click on, okay, okay, let's run this one. Okay, this is schedule option. Click on the schedule option and say like customers data run once in every hour. Okay, so here are the hours. If you want to change the days, you can change it and repeat once in every hour. Start now, end never, and set a destination table. What is a destination table? So data set, look for the data sets. So search for, I have the data sets as a data set one, and the table ID. So I already created something called consolidated. What is the table name? Consolidated customers report. Okay, customers report, run one every time, run every 1 hour, start now. So destination table, data set, table ID. This is the existing table, or else you can create a new table as well. And I would like to overwrite the data and click on save. So now what will happen? So this gets saved as well. Okay. Customer reports run. Now I'm saving this one as well. Now to see, I mean, this table will automate, this entire script, it will run automatically once in every 1 hour, and see how it can run. So on the left side, you can see something called scheduled queries. Click on the scheduled queries and click on leave. That's fine. And you come here, and then you can see that the customer report run, it is scheduled to run every 1 hour, and there is a cannot set DDL statements. Okay, okay, it's okay, fine. Okay, let's go back here. Let's uh, let's edit this one. Okay, let's click on schedule, update schedule query, and here BigQuery data set, table ID. Let's try to create like new table. Override the table, cannot set destination table with the DDL. Click on save, and this will automatically has to run over here. Okay, small correction here. If you go back to this one, so the queries, customer report run. So we already have created a table here. So when creating a schedule, so for example, like customer report 2 hours, and we don't have to create a destination table again because we already have it create or replace table over here. So basically, whenever the workflow runs, it automatically refreshes the data in the table here. So you can skip this one and click on save. So this will work fine if you go to the scheduled queries, and then you can see customer report, it is running fine. And whereas the difference between this one, if you have a query and there is no table, okay, let's look at a scenario. It is taking some time, just bear with me. Okay, so if we have a query like this run every hour, so this one, it has no table. We have not mentioned, it's like it's just returning the results. If you run this one, it will return the results. And if you'd like to save these results in a table, click on schedule, save results, naming it as save results. You can name as per you want, hours. And here I would like to have a destination table because there is no table created here. So here I'm searching for data sets, BigQuery project, new table, something. Okay, I override the table, click on save. So now let's click on scheduled queries on the left side. So you can see the save results. So the only difference is that in your query, if you are mentioning a script like create or replace table, like oops, I'm not just teaching everything, I'm also learning something. So click on queries. I did this queries for scheduling like long time back, and I'm just recalling everything over here while doing this summary and exercise. Okay, if you look at this customer report run, so here I have used this one. So we are, I mean, whenever this gets refreshed, it will automatically update the data in this table. So that's the reason while scheduling, we don't have to mention the table. Whereas this one, so it has no table creation here. We just return the values over here. So for these type of schedules, we need the destination table. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you all the best.